Hi, welcome back to another hour with Crowder. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and ding the bell so that you can get all of our latest podcast interviews every Tuesday. Today we got Malik Anthony, the devil advocate himself, E on the boards, Heather HR, and me, Crowder. Rick Rock is unfortunately not here with us today.
She's been suspended.
In spirit.
She's out of here. God damn it. All this foolishness that she brings to the show. God damn it. I went to HR, got her ass kicked up out of here.
You went to Heather, HR.
She's gone. How you like sitting at home, goddamn, huh? Rick Rock, huh? Yeah, you're fired. Do your ass like Joe Budden.
Joe Budden.
God damn it.
That's exactly who you reminded me. That's exactly who you reminded me of when you was like, you fired and looked in the camera. That nigga straight did that.
You talk shit in the goddamn group message? Well, this is what we're going to do. From this point forward today, your ass is fired.
You on his Joe
But
Budden
I'll see you
vibes.
next Friday, though, okay? All right.
Yeah, on them Joe Budden vibes. What did you do this weekend, bro? Next weekend, last weekend. I'm tripping. Memorial Day.
Shit. Motherfucking work. Smoke.
Yeah.
Chill. I went to my stepdaughter's graduation, which was pretty cool. I've never been to a graduation before.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been.
So nobody in your family ain't ever graduated?
But I moved out when I was 18, and then I moved to LA when I was 25. So my cousins are, by the time like I was 25 and I was moving out here, like they were just going, just finishing high school and so forth.
Me, low key, it was a great weekend. It was so great I lost my damn glasses.
Yeah.
I was crying to y'all in the group messages.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't, yeah.
You was like, yeah. I was like, okay, that did not help, nigga.
Like, yeah, I ain't pick them up. But I know how it is as a fellow blind person. I know how it is to lose
something so valuable. You don't understand how important them shits is until you can't see the highway and shit.
Man, like I feel like it's probably one of the greatest inventions ever. Like contacts and glasses and shit. Like right now, I don't have my glasses on. And right in front of me, from the door 6-7 feet, I can't read those words that's on the fucking door.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how bad my damn vision is.
I don't know who came up with this idea, but I seen it on Facebook where they was like, why don't you just make your windshield your prescription? I was like, whoa, that's dope as fuck.
But I think that would fuck up the eyes of everybody else who has good vision. I got a headache when I drive with this mototherfucker. I can't
well,
see.
Close your motherfucking eyes. You in my car, 2086, bitch. 20 in the right eye, 86 in the other. Shit, damn, today something happened to me. Okay, I'm at work, and I know that was like super quick, but it's something really important in here, though, because I don't know where Neon Cowboy is. It's like kind of like Box Spring-ish, Pleasant Grove-ish. Mm-hmm. I think it's off CF Hun, the Neon Cowboy.
What kind of place is that?
It's a bar.
Is it a good bar?
I don't know. I don't go to bars.
Why you don't go to bars?
Because I like to drink in the privacy of my own home and my podcast.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't be getting too drunk at the bar to kick your ass out with a $700 tab and shit. No, not for me.
So what kind of good stuff did you hear about the Neon Cowboy?
Nothing. I had to service them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so what did it look like on the inside? What was the vibe?
I don't know. I didn't go inside. That's the fucked up thing about this whole story is that I went, and of course I work overnight. So yeah, that's how dedicated I am to you motherfuckers, that I work a whole 12-hour shift and then come in here, talk to y'all bitch ass all damn day. Anyway, but I went there to go service their like little tank or whatever. And of course I roll up and it's some Caucasian people. And so I'm guessing this is a Caucasian bar. Which one is more offensive? White, Caucasian, Caucasus, what?
None of them.
Just white people?
None of them are offensive.
Well, it was some white people there, and everybody was already looking at me when I pulled up. I mean,
what time was this?
It was like probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
bars stay open that late? I mean, cause like today is Friday. Like I can understand a bar being open like 1:30, 2 o'clock, but on a like Sunday through Thursday, like I would think the bars out here would close by 12:30 and shit.
Well, if you're on the bar, you can stop selling drink, but
Right.
you can still have your bar open if you want it to be open.
yeah,
You just can't sell alcohol.
Applebee's stays up until 2 a.m.
Yeah, you just can't sell alcohol after what, 12? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm surfacing their shit, picking up their little grease, and their grease tank is kind of like in a ducked off space that's still the bar. And, I'm getting up out the car, getting my equipment together, and someone just pulls up on me and they sit there. And I'm just like, what is this lady doing? Of course, I'm like, this lady doing? Like, what's she, looking at or whatever? And the thing that I got from that was like, why did I feel like I need to make like myself known? Why did I stop working because she was looking at me? Why did I just keep working? Like, what was that?
Maybe it was your spidey senses going off, because like I don't know what the area looked like, but in this day and age, I don't know if they're I haven't been in Dallas long, so I don't know like what area you were in. But if you were in an area where there's businesses and shit like that, maybe it's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I want this motherfucker to know, like, I'm a worker. I'm not just out here just breaking some fucking home.
Yeah.
Because I don't want her to call the fucking police on me over some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Or somebody want to try and be a fucking hero and
Yeah.
it be on some fucking Trayvon Martin shit.
Yeah, and low key, it did make me a little nervous that she pulled up and just stopped right there and looked at me, get all my equipment out. Like, bitch, you see this big ass truck? Like, who's riding in this to your bar? A big ass truck with a tank on it, and then you stop there to see what I'm doing. What, like, if she was the owner, and I'm guessing she wasn't, because if you're the owner of a bar and you see this grease trap truck, then you know that I'm doing a job, the job that you called me to do, because you know that that's where that tank is because you signed off on it. But the fact that I stopped and did all that stuff, I'm like, is that trauma? Is that black trauma? That I stopped to make myself visible so that she could see everything that I was doing. So, I wouldn't be labeled as somebody that's just
Doing something suspicious or some shit. Yeah.
Doing something suspicious because it's in the back of the bar, where the door, you got to walk in it to get to the kitchen and everything, like, is that black trauma? Did I go through black trauma for a second?
That's a very compelling situation.
Because if it was a black person, I would have just kept fucking working. I wouldn't even did anything. I wouldn't even said nothing. I probably would have did a little and kept it moving. But the fact that she was white, I stopped. And I was like looking at her, look at me, look at her, looking at me. And I was still getting my stuff together, but very slowly. Because I don't know if you guys know, but Texas is open carry.
Yeah.
So it's like with open carry and then the climate of the country right now, I'm just like, bro, it's 12 o'clock. I just started this route. Do not fucking shoot me or call the police on me. And I was like, once I got back in my truck, I was like, why the fuck did I give her that power, bro? Why did I stop? Why didn't I keep working? Why the fuck did I have black trauma?
That is something we definitely need to talk about on another show, because like you just...
No, I'll talk about it on this damn show. Me and you here. Let's talk about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's something that I think rings true, that a lot of us go through, that we don't, maybe it's subconscious, like we do things subconscious and we don't realize it until after the fact. Like you said, like you made sure you made yourself was visible to this lady, and after the fact, you're like, why the fuck did I give this bitch that power? And it's like, it maybe is because of the climate, because of how things are.
And that wasn't the first time that I've done that. When the whole George Floyd thing just had started getting, excuse me, had just first got started, I was servicing a trap in like, it's like a country ass town. I don't even know what that town is called, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm servicing it, and it's like maybe like Sunrise, and it's like trailer homes and everything back there. And once again, this trap is in the back of this bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm servicing it, and a guy just walks up and like, "What you doing?" And I, even though like I was like in my mind, I was like, why the fuck are you asking me this? Like obviously I'm doing my fucking job. But I still answered him. Like on some yes master shit. Like, oh, I'm just servicing this trap. And he proceeded to ask me questions about, you know, like not in a rude way, like, what are you doing here? But you could clearly see that he was fishing for information to see who I am, who do I work for, do I know these people at this bar? Do they know that you're doing this job? And I'm just like, and a couple of my friends have told me certain instances like that where like they feel the need to answer white people questions. And I'm not trying to make it on no race shit. Like we do that all the time here. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. But I do feel like that slavery shit is like embedded in us. Like that shit that my ancestors went through and shit. I do feel like that shit got embedded in us, like mentally.
But is it though? I mean, because like if you were in your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, and based on your experiences that you've been through in your city, your neighborhood, wherever you were living at, if you saw someone that was coming in your neighborhood or your what's the name, I think the logical thing that a lot of people are nosy, but just some people just go that extra step. It ain't just, oh, let me look out the window and see what the fuck going on out here. Some of them like, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Let me go hoover the grass.
Yeah, are you doing grease here? Really? What company? I mean, use them myself. Like it's yeah, it's just how we are. I mean, hell, just like where we stay at. If a motherfucker neighbors are fighting and arguing, like I'm on the motherfucking, like I'm looking out the window and shit.
But that's a little bit different. That's drama. Everybody loves drama. If I see a construction team outside working on the sidewalk, I'm not gonna be like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah,
I know that they're working on
like me, like I don't know if I've ever seen a grease trap truck. So because I'm a little bit curious and shit, you know what I'm saying? If I saw something that I've never seen before, I may not have came in the same way where he came at you to where it seems intrusive, but maybe I'd have some questions.
And that's what I chalked it up to. That first instinct is that he's curious about this truck. He's curious about what it is. And honestly, I wouldn't be curious about anything that smelled like shit. I mean,
maybe he like, I've been wondering what the fuck stinks. Like it's like every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's a disgusting smell that comes out of nowhere. Now I know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Like
most of the time I do try to chalk it up. I try to think the best before I think the worst. You know, maybe she's an owner. She's the friend's owner. The owner of the friend. No, the friend of the owner. The friend of the owner. And she is wondering, she's a little bit curious about this truck, never seen it, you know, and all of that. But even still then, I'm just like, am I giving excuses for white people being nosy? I'm like, I don't know. I just thought that was something that, like, why did I do that? Why would I have done that if that was a black person? I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just kept working. So I did kind of pick my psyche a little bit when I was driving for an hour. Like,
but you know, like blacks and whites are different. Like you said, if it's a black person, like I don't think there are many. I know I'm more than that. There are more exceptions out there. You know what I'm saying? Where if they see it, you know what I'm saying, they're just going about their business, give a head nod. You know, then they may just see it smoking, like, what the fuck this is going on? Green light, and then they gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess it just really depends on a few things.
Honestly, I respect the first instinct rather than the second, because black people do come up on me and say, girl, driving that truck, what you doing? You know, and I talk to them or whatever, but they made the initiative to come up and actually talk to me about what it was or what they had to do or what they had to say or whatever curiosity they had, you know. But white people, they just kind of stare, and honestly, that shit low key be making me feel uncomfortable as hell. But you know, I can't believe it.
Is she coming in?
Yeah, I think Rick Ross coming in.
Is she downstairs? Well, what's going on, folks? Yeah, she called back begging to have her job this week. I told her, you know, well, me and the boss lady here, we thought long and hard, and if she comes in here begging on her knees and brings some chicken,
boss lady, that's HR, that's E on the boards, and we're all hosts.
God damn it! Well,
man, you ain't the boss lady. You just fucking HR.
You ain't the boss of me,
man. We're gonna have to set all this shit the fuck back up. Can you go let Rick Rock in? No. We're gonna have to set all this shit back up. But I do want to keep that conversation. Or should we put that in the before the scenes?
We can actually just pause it and like let the people know. We'll be right back with our third co-host. Just give us a second.
Hey, you guys, we're back with Rick Rock and You Don't Stop in the building. Late. No, I mean, like I was saying in the beginning when you walked in, you did miss out on like a good conversation we was having.
Okay.
And you know, I want to kind of end here, but I did want to get your perspective about it. Okay. And I was talking about Black trauma and like how, just to put it in a little nutshell so that we can get on with the next topics and stuff, is that I was doing a stop and, you know, a white lady pulled up and, you know, I'm doing my job and she stopped. She intentionally stopped there to look at what I was doing, and it was late at night. So my thing was that, like, why did I give her that power to, you know, I looked at her, look at me, look at her, look at me type shit. Like, why did I do that? And when I got back in my truck, I was like, why did I give her that power? If it was a black person, I would have just kept working. I would have probably like, and then just kept working. Like, why did I give her that power? Is that black trauma? That's something that's embedded in us to, you know, basically cower down. Because I seen it as like, I low-key felt like I cowered down. Like, I should have just fucking kept working.
I don't see it that way.
How do you see it?
I think
here we go. We cooking with oil now. How did you see it?
I didn't. My perspective of it is that you didn't cower down. I think at some point it's just our natural instinct. Like, you looking at me, I'm looking at you, and maybe in some sense where you already knew where she was coming from. I mean, you automatically have to go clearly into defensive mode. So I think, you know, if we transfer this to the animal kingdom, if you will, it's like a standoff. You're like, okay, well, like you said, what's up? I experience that when I go walking or working out in the mornings, and especially with the recent passing of this anti-Asian hate bill, I was walking, and you know, the walking path, people walk past each other, and you have the lines clearly marked on the pavement. I'm on my side, and there's an Asian couple on the other side, and we're about 4 feet away from each other, and she looks at me. She turns around, looks at her husband like she's concerned, I guess looking for a reaction from him, and I just passed right by them. My thought in that moment was, I probably make more money than you. I probably have more education than you. I have on workout clothes, but I'm a threat. I don't feel like it comes from trauma. I feel like it comes from a society that constantly forces Black people to be on guard. I don't feel that you cowered down in any way. You didn't go to her like, oh, yes, massa. So, I mean, I don't see where.
That's how I kind of felt, though. But, yeah, I didn't want to stay there long. It was just a really good conversation that I felt you should have been in, and I wanted to hear your perspective about it, because, you know, you always be having some little gems to drop.
I think you stood your ground. I'm proud of you.
I did get in my truck like, damn, why the fuck I do that shit?
You didn't do nothing wrong.
But y'all did have a very we do a lot of stuff in our group chat, and we do the topics and everything. And Malik had a really good one about women are just as fucked up as men, and I intentionally came here with fucking popcorn because I want to know what both of y'all think about this. I mean, I could give my perspective about it, but I would like to hear y'all's first because you are a straight male, you are a straight woman, and I've been on both sides of the fence. So, I mean, I think I could give an unbiased opinion because I've dealt with both. But why do you think women are just as fucked up as men, sir? Women running the world nowadays. You might want to tread lightly.
I don't give a fuck about that.
I don't give a fuck about that.
I just feel like there's no accountability when it comes to women. I feel like when it comes to relationships and families, it's so easy and convenient to blame the father. Or if a relationship goes bad, it's so easy to say, oh, it was the man's fault. I've asked a lot of women, when I was dating women, like one of the main questions is just to see what type of person are you? I asked them, so what happened in your last relationship? 90% of them is like, oh, it was the man.
It depends. If the man cheats, then is it the man's fault?
Okay. So with that, what role does a woman play in a relationship going down?
I don't know.
I just feel like there are rare circumstances where there's a situation where the blame is strictly on the man. Are there cases where there are some completely douchebag ass men? Absolutely. But I do feel like in a lot of situations, women play the part. Like, I definitely feel like if you're the type of woman who's like, oh, well, a woman should be able to talk to a man any kind of way and hit him and do whatever, and a man's not supposed to do nothing all because I'm just a woman, like, you're part of the fucking problem. To me, you're basically saying, I can disrespect you all I want to, but you have to respect me. There's no way around that. And like we were saying before, if we say a lot of children were raised in a single parent household where it was like the men, they were either on drugs or they were locked up, how did you treat your son? If you're saying, well, when you say, what do you mean by You don't feel like your relationship with your son impacts how he treats women?
Definitely. But at some point, you got to stop blaming how you grew up. If you always just blame how you grew up, this is how I grew up, then,
But there's no accountability though. Like how is it we can blame problems on men? Oh, it's because there was no men in the household. We can bring that up. But when we talk about, okay, but what was a relationship like with your son? If you're the type of, or if you let your son get away with bullshit, like he disrespect women, beats on them, and you don't correct them, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I agree with that.
There has to be all around accountability. Like, period. There to me, like, there is no situation where, oh, it's only the man's fault. Like, what part did you play in that? How are you help bringing up your son in this world? If you are a single mother, like, are you showing him how to be a man, or are you just going around and you're just talking about how niggas ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit to people who you're dating? Because if that's the case, like, that's all he's going to see. And if you don't take the time to correct your son, like, how can you be mad with how our boys are? If no man is at the home and all we have is the relationship, and especially if you don't have a good relationship with your mother or your grandmother, then what? We always like to say, oh, well, we have these traumas. do we talk about the traumas that kids grow up with? We're always talking about traumas that little girls grow up with. Do we acknowledge that when it comes to boys? Or we just like, oh, okay, well, boys are the problem. They ain't shit. How are we actually helping them? How are we holding ourselves accountable?
Oh. So I'm just listening. So to start, I can agree with the fact that it is a shared problem. In most unsuccessful relationships, I can agree it's a shared problem. I will be candid to say that once I got past my divorce and once the healing began and once I started going to therapy and it started acknowledging my shit, to, I guess, answer your question, Malik, I know that the environment that I was raised in, very strong, Black women. My grandmother made sure that every woman in our family had no less than a master's degree. We were actually teased if we didn't have a master's degree. So we were all very successful. My grandmother was dominant in the marriage, and you could tell that. My grandfather checked out. I have another relative, I won't mention her because she's still living. She's very dominant. Her husband has checked out. And I took on that role. And I do know at some point, between the disrespect and the yelling and the threatening to, divorce you and I'll take this and this is mine. Then when he would go out with his fraternity brothers on a Friday night and wouldn't come home till Sunday, then I was crying, woe is me, he's hurting me. I can't understand what's happening to our marriage. And so when I finally got to that place of healing and acknowledged my stuff, it came from these patterns. And when you look at these patterns, yes, you have on this side, women are like, I'm a strong woman, I'm strong. Really, you're just operating in a stronghold and not in strength. And yes, you do have, unfortunately, where you have a lot of men in relationships who are mentally and physically abused. There's a society, we're in a society where men are not allowed to speak out about the trauma and the abuse that they're dealing with. And yes, children are being produced, girls on this side to, disrespect men. And then now we're in this culture where, get a bag, make sure he buys you this, make sure he does this. And I can agree that you have where a man's self-esteem is being just diminished. And yes, it all comes back to, we could all go on Instagram right now. You're going to find 25 posts back to, he ain't shit. If he ain't shit, if he doesn't do this, if he's not this, don't worry, sis, it's going to be okay. Fuck him, get over it. If a man doesn't do this, and you may find, and then you will find that one man who says, well, when are women going to be held accountable? And he'll get 150 comments talking about, well, y'all did this and y'all did that. So I kind of have to agree with him. I see where I'm going to go into an area where people get upset, but this what is it? Separate but equal. What is it? I guess they go into feminism, women's rights, that whole thing. I think that somewhere the lines clearly have gotten blurred.
Yeah, for sure.
And where there's supposed to be equality, I've seen where the scales of justice, if you will, have tipped in women's favor, and in some cases, yeah, I think we're on that bullshit.
Now let me add a little spice into this conversation. Is women not just doing the playbook of what men have been doing forever?
Well, you have
playing girls, being promiscuous. It's a double standard of like men being able to date, and this is just an example. Men being able to date a lot of women and girls not being able to, and all of this stuff. Are they taking a play out of the men's playbook? of treating men exactly how men have treated women for so long.
Okay. I normally wouldn't have a problem with that because if we want to be fair, let's be fair. Let's be equal. But don't tell me when I'm going to do it, I'm a dog ass nigga. But when you do it, it's a hot girl summer.
It's hot, damn. I'm on some hot girl shit.
It's a hot girl summer.
That's the only difference. Don't tell me, oh, if you do this, you a dog ass nigga, you ain't shit. But when you do it, oh, everything, you get a round of applause from all your homegirls. Like,
yeah, but they're getting that round of applause from all the homegirls because for so long, even if women did go back and cheat after a man cheated, then they was a hoe, they was a bitch, they was a slut. But men got that pass to do whatever they wanted to, and their homeboys would give them a round of applause when they would go out and cheat and be promiscuous.
And I hear what you're saying, but
that's just an example, though.
I know, but if that's the case, well then, how am I a dog then?
Both of you are dogs,
exactly.
but the men gets most of the praise than the women does. The women will always be a slut, a hoe, no matter how much we try to take back that word. You know, you still be. Women are still in the dim light of that. You know, and I'm just using just this as an example. You know, but yeah, I think that women took a play out of men's book and. Now it's just like, oh, well, no, where's the accountability? But there was really no accountability for men in that instance. They actually got applauded for it as women got talked down on.
It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make it right. Like I'll always be, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It don't matter who does it.
Yeah, but majority of men don't think like that. That if it's right, it's right. It's wrong, it's wrong. Slut is still a slut. And, you know, I mean, who's that made the song, I'm a dog, basically praising the fact that he dogs out women and he can do whatever he wants to. That I'm a dog, no, it's an old song.
Is it Gucci? I'm a dog.
It's
Gucci.
Gucci. Yeah, so, you know, they can make a whole song about that. And now what is women doing? Hot girl summer. Megan telling you to take the bag and, you know, go do this and spend that nigga's money and all that shit. And where did that play come from? Men.
Yeah.
So I think the tables have turned and men are just realizing that, wait a minute, hold up. You ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm only supposed to be doing that. Oh, no, you know, y'all sluts, y'all hoes. And I totally agree with you about basically most of what you're saying. I'm just trying to add another perspective that maybe women just treat men how they've treated us so long.
And if that's the case, you have to take everything that goes along with it.
Yeah, but when you take the consequences aren't the same. Like I just said in that one instant, men get praised for sleeping around with a whole bunch of women. I mean, yeah.
Praised for by who? By
other men.
By men. And just like when they're praised for pretty much just
because women are vicious as fuck. If you go and tell, you know, like, yeah, maybe your homegirls will applaud you if they know the situation, but let you openly go out on Facebook or Instagram saying that, oh, yeah, I fucked this nigga this week. Yeah, you know, these niggas dick, all that, blah, 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 all that type of stuff, then women are going to get on there and trash you.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I personally think if a male goes on social media, and maybe because I'm damn near 40, but as a male, if you need to go on social media and you need to brag about the bitches that you fucking, like that's just lame to me. Like
definitely lame.
So like I don't know. I think most men, or I think like a lot of men around my age would be like, why the fuck do you feel the need to go on motherfucking social media and brag about who you're fucking? That's like some real 18, 19-year-old motherfucking behavior.
Yeah, it is.
But in the instance, the difference is that even with women, if a woman goes out, and I would say we judge each other, because if a woman goes out, let's say I think we give each other maybe like a first to 10 date range, and you tell your girlfriend you had sex, you're even catching that. Even when you approach your girlfriend, you're like, girl, I had sex. And she's like, what? Why didn't you wait? Why didn't you? And a man can have sex the first night and tell his homeboys, I'm like, you know. So that's what I'm saying. So we're judged by society and even judged by our peers because we have been taught that if a woman decides that I'm attracted to this guy, we have a great sexual chemistry. If when we lay down, we have to think, okay, is it too soon? What is he going to think of me when we wake up? Is he going to come? And a man could be like, I have a great chemistry with her. We're going to smash. And
I might call her
tomorrow.
I might
because
go get a cab tonight.
we look at things totally different. Like there's this analogy that the late great Patrice O'Neal had said.
Oh God.
He was like, women build from the bottom on up and men build from the top on down. Like women care more about who you are as an individual before they get to that stage. And men, and I can attest to it, he was like, we don't give a fuck if you know how to read when we first meet you. Like,
yikes.
because if you can't satisfy us physically, all that other bullshit, we're not gonna give a fuck about. Like, you can be so amazing, but if you can't please me sexually, you think I give a fuck if you got a motherfucking master's degree or some shit? You think I give a fuck if you make 6 figures? This ain't gonna last anyway. I'm gonna end up cheating on you. You can't even satisfy me.
Why is it that way with men? Why do y'all think logically in a relationship, like they think with their
head?
Okay. I don't really know at this point. I'm not a dude, but when it comes to a relationship, I feel like men, they more like, they thinking for like, can she do can she do this? Can she do this? Can she do this? As far as women, we think emotionally, like, how did he make me feel like inside? And y'all like, how does she make me feel like on the outside?
I mean, we just do things in reverse. Like we absolutely care who you are as a person, but if you don't fulfill us sexually first, all that other shit is not going to matter. You may meet some guys that don't care. Like, hey, you can be an amazing person, and it's okay that you don't know how to satisfy me. I'm okay with that. We can learn and grow together. But most guys, if you can't satisfy that physical nature for us, in my opinion, 7 times out of 10, like, all that other shit ain't gonna fucking matter. Especially if you're looking to be in a relationship or as close to a relationship. You want to be able to know that your partner can satisfy you. Because if your partner can't satisfy you, what's the use of having that fucking partner? Because if that's the case, we can just motherfucking be friends.
True. Very true. You got anything to add to that? Look at me. I was over there sitting up here like I'm about to go get a nigga today and shit. Like, all smiling and shit.
In a way, I hate to agree, it does make sense because as women, we have that conversation where, we build from the bottom up and you're anticipating it, and you guys either go out to a romantic dinner or we cook and he comes over and you get in the mood. You're like, oh, that dick was trash. And so you just like, the same way that guys text their homeboys, he could be laying down there and he's like, and you're like, uh-huh. Oh, so I can attest to the fact that if there is no sexual satisfaction, then I start ghosting you, or maybe in the past, because I'm saved now. No, maybe
I'm saved now. Hell no! You just came here and cussed everybody out when you first came here.
No, I just said Mama had a bad day. That's all. So, but yes, I can attest to the fact that I in a sense would, the phone calls go from, hey babe, to what's up, what you need. So yes, I guess men are hardwired one way, women are hardwired another way. But at the end of the day, even though they go from top to bottom and we go from bottom to top, if the sex is not good, then it's gonna start falling apart.
Both of y'all are out.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because women, I said y'all. Well, it kind of is y'all. I'm gay, so. But because men build from the top bottom and women build from the bottom up, maybe you just got to find that person that y'all both
equal balance
in the middle.
Because it's a lot easier for me to meet you and then you seem cool, but we fuck within the first couple of dates and the fucking sex is whack. Like, okay, yeah, I can go ahead and end this shit. But if you done like, you like, oh, I'm gonna wait like 5-6 days. Man, this motherfucker's amazing. Fuck, he's great. Shit, I think I want to marry this nigga. You fucking go home and fuck him and it's like, oh my fucking, I done wasted 6 months out of my fucking life. And now, you know, shit, you don't know what the fuck you gonna goddamn do. Like, as a man, like, I enjoyed the opportunity up within the first couple of dates. I'm trying to see what this sex like, because if it is trash, we just gonna be smoking partners. Like, I don't know
Smoking partners.
what else we gonna do.
You think you have a tendency to think that I don't agree with the stuff you say, but I actually 120% agree. I don't
genius,
smoke.
I understand.
Fuck
Right.
you.
No,
I don't smoke, but we would probably just drink Douce, and I'd be sitting there. He's like, "Well, who you texting?" Oh, somebody else. Hey,
No,
what do you think of him?
I'm be showing you like, hey man, I met this new chick. I know you probably mad, but you know
Right.
what time it is. Hey,
you know what time it is.
Right.
as a matter of fact, she bisexual. What you trying to do? No, all right, fuck it. Look, hey, I don't man.
I would attest to that. I'd be like, you would instantly go in the friend zone, and while you sitting there like, oh, so you coming over? Yeah, I'm coming over. I'm gonna sleep on the couch, and we'd be literally sitting there like, you see this dude? I'd be swiping right, and I would make sure that we never bought up the trash ass sex, and every
You
time
just gotta avoid that shit.
and every time he would come on to me, I think I'm actually telling a true story right now. Then I would be like, you know what? We're better off as friends.
You got to.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to keep
them.
going back and say, hey, you know what? We've been in this thing for this many years. I think we're just better off as friends. So
Yeah.
I agree with you.
People out there watching, what I'm trying to say is, ladies, fuck that man within the first 2 dates, man.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
that is not what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because if you fuck around and you waste a nigga time, like shit, like that's you don't want no nigga wasting your time. Go ahead and find out if the dick good. You know what I'm saying? Make a man's life easier so that way you can be in a relationship better.
Just make sure you do it before 12:01 a.m. Sunday, because you can't walk in there and have pastor condemn you for. Anyway,
True. This one came up.
He
on my
probably
feed.
did it with the prostitute.
let me tell you something. He was doing with. Let me stop.
This one came up on my feed yesterday. Actually, I was in my comments about this, and this one I just kind of threw in here. But Mo 3, everybody familiar with Mo 3?
Mo 3, hell yeah.
I'm sorry, who?
Mo 3, yeah, exactly. Mo 3, he sung a couple of songs. He's like a Dallas rapper, or was a Dallas rapper. Rest in peace.
The one who died in jail or something?
No, he
Nah, he
died
died
on
on the
like
highway.
the freeway or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in like some rap beef or whatever, and they are thinking about writing up a petition to change Forest Lane in Dallas, Texas to, I guess, Mo 3 or Melvin Nobin.
Let me tell you something.
Noble Jr.
I'm from Cali, and long live Emperor Nip. They would do better naming it after Nipsey Hussle in Texas than after this person, whoever he is. May he rest in peace.
No.
What?
Nipsey is loved California wide.
Nipsey is
You don't have
loved
a mic?
worldwide.
No,
Nipsey is loved
yeah,
worldwide.
He had a storefront.
After he died, like, let's not act like everybody was on a Nipsey wave before he died. Like,
I acknowledge Nipsey was up and coming. Nipsey was getting ready to explode. Nipsey been in the game for a long time.
Exactly. So,
Yes,
so when
and
you
he
say
was
up and
building
coming,
the
like he was,
community.
like,
What I'm saying is that the community would benefit more. And I know that California is not coming to Dallas. Dallas is not going to allow that to happen. What I'm saying is Nipsey Hussle did more for the community. And in my opinion, it would benefit. If you had to name it after somebody, I would rather name it after someone who is a pillar of the community than this person.
Because listen, this dude was in. That's my only problem with them trying to name this after Melvin Noble Jr. That's his real name. Is because he didn't do anything. Actually, he was the opposite. He was in a lot of drama all the time with other Dallas rappers, and he was always talking shit. I'm sorry, I don't want a street named in that. Look, when you think about streets being named after people, Malcolm X Boulevard, Martin Luther King Boulevard. And then Melvin Noble Jr. Boulevard?
I think Melvin is a terrible name.
He didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything grand at all.
Maybe for you, but like
for nobody,
I don't
he
know
did not do
what
nothing
his relationship
for Dallas
was
community.
in the community that he stayed in. Like it
He
may not
stayed
be
in Dallas.
But I'm just saying that specific neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like you may not have benefited from anything that he's done, but I'm just saying like that particular neighborhood, like maybe he did something for that community where people like, okay, well, we think because of what he meant for us and what he did.
It's more about meaning. Nah, you got to do something grand to be having a street named after you.
Do you have to do something grand? Because like I can literally buy a Howie right now and have it adopted after.
Yeah, you can. But that's an adoption. We talking about this is forever. I mean, I didn't even, agree with the Botham Jean being changed.
Is it really forever? I mean, because like,
well, yeah, it's not forever. It could
so
be changed,
it's like, yeah. So,
but I'm just like, no. First of all, we're looking up to the wrong people as it is. It's a rapper. He's a rapper. I'm sorry. I know for any of his family members that's like, no, he wasn't just a rapper. I mean, that was his profession. He rapped. He didn't do anything for that community. He didn't do anything
allegedly.
Brand. I can sit up there and name 20 other rappers that is probably way more beneficial to Dallas than Mo3. What about Bobby Sessions? Hell, what about Travis Scott? I mean, all of those people came from Texas, and he didn't do anything grand to me.
But
That's
it
how I
seems
feel
like
about
you would
it.
be indicting the people that wants to make this happen, because just like you just named those people that should be named, like they would have people like, hey, you know what, like such and such has been so influential to this community. We think that we should name this road like.
Okay, Nipsey got the street or whatever named after him because of his influence behind music. So if music is the only thing that you have to offer me as an artist, and nobody owes me nothing at the end of the day, but if that's the only thing that you have to offer, then I don't want it. It's 20,000 niggas rapping. So I don't need another rapper to be named in my community. There's plenty of us. What are you doing behind music? Are you building up stuff for these kids so that if they want to be rappers, they can be a rapper? Are you building up, funds for a homeless shelter? What are you doing?
Being mentors to young boys
Yes.
with single mother households?
But again, do we know that he hasn't done any of that? Now, I am completely with you if we know for 100% fact, like he didn't do nothing for the community. He didn't do no backpack giveaways. He didn't give out no bikes. He ain't giving out no turkeys. Yeah, like why are we like genuinely naming a street after a guy who ain't done shit? But if he's done, like I said, it may not matter to people like, I don't know what, let's say if he's from North Dallas.
Yeah, that's
like,
North Dallas.
Like people in South Dallas, they're like, yeah, this nigga ain't do shit for me. But the people that's in his his vicinity, the community that he's from, he may have looked out for those people. I'm just like I said, until I know, like, yeah, he ain't did shit for the community. Like, I kind of feel like if people like, damn, let's sign a petition. Like, I kind of feel like they feel a way like he did something for them. He
made them feel good with music. He was pretty much like, he was on upcoming, like, he got pretty big. I mean, hood big. Like, he was a hood star. And people love hood stars. I mean, we all know that most people idolize rappers. They idolize them. And I just feel like he haven't done anything to be getting a street named after him. No, there's too many other people out here. Unisha Wells from the 40 Cliff program, the Black Panthers that just built that community garden down there. Like, it's too many people that's doing things in the community for us to be naming streets after rappers. We looking up to the wrong people, and that's why we in the situation that we in now, because we let them influence us to do stupid shit like naming a street after a rapper. I'm just tired of that shit. I'm tired of idolizing people that don't do anything and they only have music to give us. Only that. Never anything else.
I kind of want to push back on something you just said when you was like the music influence, and like I'm a person that believes that music, TV shows and music, TV shows and movies doesn't influence people as much as we think or say, because if that was the case, like we see so much murder and violence on TV. Like, if we being honest, like, I know we have a large population of prison, but the majority of the people in this world watch TV, listen to music. Is everybody in this room? We have, damn, I can't count right now, 5 motherfuckers in here right now. Anybody here got done? I'm pretty sure within the last couple months we've seen movies that saw killing and shit. Anybody got an urge to go out and start shooting and killing?
It's a slow roast. It's a slow roast with mind control. Music definitely controls your mind. All that stuff you named, it definitely does it. It does. MK Ultra. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of the CIA being in Hollywood? Have you ever
that
heard
to
of,
me is like saying, like, what the people like, oh well, you know, and I don't know how you feel about it, and it may be an amazing question for you to answer. Like, I'm one of those where I don't believe where if they show characters or something that's homosexual or gay, like, I don't feel like that's going to turn your child gay. Like, I'm a person that believes, like, if you see something that's on TV, like a gay family, and you feel like your child is automatically going to turn gay because he saw a gay family, maybe your child was just gay in the first place.
I don't know, because kids' minds are very impressionable. They are. I mean, I'm not saying, and I'm not saying that
I gotta agree with Malik, because because I know for myself, and there's conversations that I've had where one of my closest friends is a lesbian, and she's in a relationship. They have a beautiful house, 2 kids, everything. But I have known since I've known myself that I am heterosexual. So I've seen plenty of gay families on television, outside, wherever, and that has never changed that I know that I love men. I what I understand is that because society and those people who are just so damn ignorant and stuck in really ignorant and ignorance and bigotry, they fear. Now, it's funny, like when I was going to church, they would say, you know, a pastor, if he's harping on one subject constantly, that's what he's, you know, secretly struggling with. So you have a lot of these pastors. Oh, I think it was, what was it, Chris Rock? They were like, he was doing a stand up. He was like, you know, asking one of the presidents, well, what about Benghazi and what about this? Well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, you know, what about, oh, fuck them faggots. So it's like, the people, when you find when people are harping on that thing, and I have seen some dirty stuff in church. The ones who are making it such an issue and are scared to see a regular, because to me, gay or straight, family is family. To see a regular family on TV and you want to grab your kid and say, Jesus this and Jesus that, and it's an abomination. Well, it's probably because when you saw those 2 dads on TV, your dick got hard and you're worried about your son finding out that you're normal. To me, like, I don't sit there and say, oh, you're gay. Fucking normal. But I do know for myself, I've never, ever been attracted to a woman, regardless of what I've seen.
Now, let me get back to because it's so complicated, because it's a slow roast. So no, don't shake your head. Don't shake your head, because mind control does happen through these things, like television programming. What are you programming?
So
your mind. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me finish, because it's a very complicated thing, and it is a slow roast. And and it's not something that only this is just going to warp your mind, but we have the school system warping your mind. Then you go home and you watch TV, and then, like we just got through saying, your household. Is your dad around? Is your mom gone? Is your mom on crack? Or is your dad there and then your mama on crack? Like, it's a whole bunch of things that happen at once to warp your mind. And yes, that example that you brought up probably isn't a good analogy for what I'm talking about with the mind control thing. But it does happen. Mind control is real through television programming, radio stations, and movies and all that type of shit. It is.
I get that, but I still have to agree with Malik on this one that, like, okay, so I'll say, you know, when we were all growing up, you know, porn was very taboo and, oh my God. And you know, and the thought, you know, you say, have you been with a girl? Have you been, you know, that was like, and so now you find that a lot of women are like, yeah, I've been with a girl, but, you know, so I feel like it's, as far as mind control or influencing, I feel like everything that was so taboo and so restricted is not as restricted now. But it's still like, you know, we've all seen porn. I could still look at it and know that I still want to be with a man. So I think that people are scared of the fact that things that they don't agree with will become normalized.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of y'all on the whole gay thing. Because my mom, my sister, my brothers, all of them are straight. I'm the only gay one. So I definitely
But it's something that,
agree.
like, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, you know that.
Yeah, but look at the situations around. My dad wasn't in my life. I didn't see any really good men. And I'm not saying that you know, could have made me gay. Or well, I am saying that could have been a factor in that. You know, do I think that now because I'm older and I've experienced both? I like women more. I like having sex with women. So that's who I'm going to choose. I've had sex with men, but it's just like always like,
but it's like you're not right.
Yeah, like,
right.
Ugh. But I can be attracted to a man. I've seen plenty of men that I'll be like, damn, he fine. But am I sexually attracted to him? No, because I know once we get into bed, it's not going to be what you think it is. It ain't going to be what I think it is. So we need to just go ahead and just be with the people that we want to be. And
just
I
need
just
to go ahead and be
girls.
friends.
Yeah,
So
just go ahead and be friends.
Let me ask you, when you said you didn't have an example of a good man in your life, like what is your example of a man not being a good man? Because
for one, as my father, being present, you know, being present in your life and not just giving child support or coming around ever so often. And then when you do come around, you're just flirting with my mom, not really paying much attention to me or what I did or whatever. And then you go to school and you see all the trash ass niggas there. And then you're at home and you hear your brother on the phone being a trash ass nigga to girls. And then you just come to this conclusion. So you've seen through every stage of your life, from your dad not being a good person because he wasn't there. And then you get to school and you see all them trash ass niggas, or and then you see your brother being a trash ass nigga, and you create this thing in your mind of like, men aren't good. And that could have been a factor in me being gay, because it's like, well, I'm always around women and I always see women doing good and they're always here. So I think I'm in love with women because I don't ever see a good present of a man around. But, you know, I know that I'm fully gay, but I'm saying all of those factors, as a young child with an impressionable mind, and then watching all these TV shows of saying, oh, well, you know, it's okay to be with a man if you're a boy, and it's okay to be with a girl if you're a girl. And then you see all trash ass niggas, and then your dad's not here. All of those things together, not just factors. The TV programming, or not just seeing trash ass niggas, or just not your dad being there, but all of those things together can warp your mind.
Which brings to ask, does that just mean that people are, if you're easily influenced by movies, TVs, and so forth, could it be just that person, I'm not speaking in your situation.
No, you can. I'm totally unsensitive.
People are just weak-minded, just in terms of, okay, like if you can be easily, like I said, like, I would like to think everybody in this room is not easily influenced. Like, we're not just going to watch movies and again go out. We're just going to start killing people.
Yeah, but we're all over 25.
Shit.
Okay, so
we're all over 25.
Age does not.
They're talking about they're getting kids. I mean, who plays video games, Call of Duty and shit like that?
Shit.
Mostly
My ex
kids.
is 44 and probably playing video games right now.
Yeah, but it's not warping his mind because he's already fucking grown, and he knows the consequences of going out and shooting a whole bunch of people up. And I'm not saying
the
that
majority of murders and killers right now are not like a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Like they're like, and I guarantee they've all had experiences where they're watched the same thing, heard the same thing. Like there are people that are in colleges and middle schools right now and high schools that listen to the same music, watch the same movies, play the same games, and still don't have the mentality, oh, okay, I want to go out and just start killing motherfuckers, or I want to go out and just start raping bitches or some shit. Like,
yeah, but what was the influences before all of this? What is their dad in their life? Is their mom in their life? Are they doing this? It goes back to what I was saying. All of those factors together can warp your mind to do
but
things
see,
like
even
that.
then, there are a lot of people who grew up in single households that went through the same thing that still didn't have that mentality. So,
Yeah,
like I
it's
said,
just a percentage, though. Just a percentage of it. That's all I'm saying. That it can totally happen. Is it a large percentage of it? No, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like the TV don't program your mind, bro. I was in 9th grade and I legit wanted to be Lil Wayne, bro. I legitly wanted to be that. Why? Because I'm looking at Lil Wayne. He's cool. He can rap. Shit, he got dreads. I'm going to get dreads. Oh, then he got Baby Nape on. I'm about to go get some Baby Nape. And that's what kids do. They mimic what they see on TV.
But I think there's a vast difference from saying, oh, like I want to be this, I want to emulate what he's wearing in his hair, and I want to go out and just start shooting and running over motherfuckers.
Yeah, but that's the extreme of being brainwashed or your mind being warped. And what I was doing was the very least. You know?
Are we missing the discussion about the development of the prefrontal cortex, which can contribute to being influenced
Yeah.
by people, things, situations? When you're dealing with teenagers, you're dealing with this part of the brain that is not developed and is lives in that right now, that moment of gratification. So,
and I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to say to people at home, for the people that got kids and shit, and I know there are parents out there that do shit, stop being a dumbass and letting your kids who are not even fucking 18 smoke weed and shit.
Yes, please.
That is some of the most,
Stop.
like, I understand wanting to be a friend
I'm
to
not
your
your friend.
to,
Yeah,
the-
I'm not
to
your
your
friend.
to your kid and shit. But all that, oh, I'm finna, drink and smoke with my kid, and I want to do it with them so that way I know they ain't doing the shit.
No.
Like you said, like they're not completely developed.
no.
And for you to let them to start doing shit like that, like you're stunting their growth. And a lot of people don't realize, like, I'm all for, because I didn't have a great relationship with my mom. Like, I'm all for having good relationship with your kids to a friendly enough relationship to where your child feels like they can voluntarily come to you, have conversations with you, and be honest with you. Like, I'm all for that, but not to the point where, oh, yeah, let me go ahead and smoke and drink with my 17, 18-year-old child, because I just, like, nigga, no. Like,
Well, as a parent, I feel like they have enough time for everything, because all of us in here can remember how excited we were to get our license. And now, in most cases, like if we were all going to go out to dinner afterwards and they were like, okay, who's driving? So they have enough time to get drunk, to understand champagne and marijuana and get their speeding ticket and pay rent. Like, you have enough time to do this when you're mature enough to make a, kind of rational decision. I'm saying, I remember the first time I got drunk, it was my freshman year in college. So, but no, I'm not going to contribute to that. Like my mom, when I called that next day, I was like, Mama, and she was like, but it wasn't me sitting up drinking with my mama. It was freshman year of college. And when I woke up the next morning, I'm not going to lie, the first person I called, I just wanted my mama. So that experience, yes, I'll share with my daughter. Like, yeah, I told you, ass, get some, I'm make her drink something nasty like raw eggs and tomatoes and jalapenos. Like, all right, call me tomorrow. But no, I'm not going to contribute to that at all.
Yeah. Speaking of some more things that kids shouldn't be doing, UNICEF. Yeah. They're an organization that basically fight for kids' rights in different areas, But the recent one that has been not trending a little bit, maybe underground, but they're trying to let kids have access to porn. Like, they're fighting for that right for them to be able to, watch porn because that's their right. How do we feel about this? How do we feel?
I'm
trying to look for the quote. Y'all talk between yourselves.
I would need to read the entire article because like that just seems crazy to me.
But it's real. They said that you don't have a mic, ma'am. You don't have a mic.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. It's infringing on your right as a child. Okay. And if my children came to me, I would say, all right, like my oldest one, give me that iPhone 12, give me that Apple Watch, I do buy her Nike, give me that Nike, give me those braids out your hair. Here's the $3,000 worth of bills that need to be paid this month. Once you do that, all rights belong to you. Just like with weed and alcohol, there is a point in their life where it's just too early for them to. It was funny. I read something today because they had that video where parents were trying to put their babies on grass and the babies, and so what I'm trying to reference is when I read it said that when you do that with the baby, they're developing so rapidly that when you put them on the grass, it's sensory overload. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you introduce a child to pornography, to weed, to alcohol, to bad parenting and being their friend and not setting boundaries, you're giving them sensory overload. I don't agree with it.
Now, porn, I'm absolutely against, semi-nudity and shit. Like, I think that's natural because I feel like if you want to do that, I mean, hell, you need to censor everything that you're doing because you can
Disney damn channel. I mean,
you can walk outside and you can see a woman walk around. She got half her ass hanging out. Like, are you rushing to cover your kids' eyes then? Like,
I feel like that's a different instant because if we're at the pool or something like that,
that's what I'm saying. But it's still it's level. Like I said, like if we talking about just straight porn, yeah, I'm completely against it. But if we saying like semi or a little nudity and shit, like I just think like you can't censor that because you can literally walk out your fucking door in the same shit you don't want your kids to see on your phone. They're seeing it out there in person.
I mean, I take my children to Hurricane Harbor, and this is supposed to be a family environment, and yes, I mean you see it all. Now, how I handle it, in most cases. And I'll be honest, because some of those women out there got some bad bodies, and I'll be like, okay, fitness goals. Some of them, I look at my daughters and I'm like, okay, I've taught the lesson that you don't want to dress this way, and I taught them about being a lady. I've always felt that a woman's strength is in her mystery. So, and then my daughters eventually, sometimes they're like, ooh, mommy, but I agree with you. That's not me sitting down and saying, all right, watch this porn, tell mommy what you think. Like you said, there's a difference.
Yeah, looky. They pulled the report. UNICEF pulled the report that basically what they were saying was that there's really no consistent evidence that children are affected by pornography. That was their study on it. And actually, I'm just looking at it right now. They pulled it. They've pulled back all of the stuff that they said about it. Looky, surprise, surprise.
Let me tell you how children are affected by sex. When I was married, and a lot of parents have this story. You get caught slipping, and it's the middle of the night, and you think the kids are asleep, and the kid walks in. That happened to us, and that was absolutely traumatizing for our daughter. I mean, this went on until our divorce. I think she caught us when she was 4, and by the time we divorced, she was 8. And when I tell you, when the lights would go off, and the house we had double doors to our bedroom, and their room was all the way down the hallway. It could be 1 8:53 a.m. House has been dark and quiet for 4 hours. Me and him laying there like, okay. I mean, we literally had to get up, close the door. One of us had to go down the hallway to make sure she was asleep. And I don't care. The minute she would hear that door close and the door would not make any noise, she was. So if we're talking about two parents who were in love and our child unfortunately caught us having sex and that traumatized her, what do you think porn is going to do?
Yeah. My thing is that
I think the age also plays an effect, because I caught my when I was younger, I caught my mother as well. I don't feel like that affected me. But then again, like, I'm a male, you have a daughter. I think I was a little bit older when it happened for me. So I think in situations like that, like, there are a lot of different of variables. And then you have to keep in mind, like, you're going to have to deal with puberty anyway, especially with little boys.
Yeah.
You know,
but
so
we ain't trying to rush it.
true,
you know?
but like, I don't know, I just feel like it happens sooner than later for other people. Like, I feel like there are certainly cases where it'll affect a child for them to see, like, their parents or something like that. And I think there's even more, like, where you have another child where it's just like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
The only thing that I had to gather from this,
but that's only with fucking, if you're fucking letting your kids watch. Yeah, man, check out Miss Cherokee. You know what I'm saying, son? Tell me how. Like, yeah, that's a famous porn person. She's amazing. That's wrong.
yeah,
That's
it's just I have no words for this. Actually, I have a couple of words for this, honestly, because it's just disgusting. UNICEF, NAMBLA, you know, all those places are exploiting kids to sexual things that don't need to be. They don't need to be sexualized. Kids don't need to be sexualized. Why are you teaching them about the tingly feeling that they get when they touch their private areas? Like, I'm all down for kids knowing what their reproduction organs do and how they're supposed to work, but porn is over the line. Like, no. Like, and then what sick parents and what sick scientists were like, you know what? We need to find out if kids are happy or sad when they watch porn. Who's thinking that?
I mean,
pedophiles are thinking that.
I don't.
No,
I kind of disagree with that.
No, no. Because you cannot be on. What? Go ahead.
Where?
No, go ahead.
No, I just feel like, unfortunately, some things in life, when science wise, I'm talking about true professionals. Because at the end of the day,
what is the science? No, because I'm about to get ready to really
mind development.
I know.
To me, it is no different from them running studies on, okay, well, let's see what happens to the teenage brain if we give them cocaine or drugs and stuff. It's no different.
And you shouldn't be doing that either. Okay, shouldn't be doing that either.
But unfortunately, it happens. It's just like we know
shouldn't be,
if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be doing drugs. We know that. But if you have a child and that child comes out to being, quote unquote, a crack baby, you want to know, okay, how does the brain function?
You know why I don't agree with basically anything that you're saying? Because with this, there's no middle ground. I'm sorry. There's no middle ground to figuring out if a kid is okay if they watch porn. Why are we studying this? Ain't we supposed to be studying other stuff? Is there nothing else to study except for kids watching porn? No, there's no.
Does it happen though?
No. Yeah, it definitely happens. But
don't you want to know how the mind reacts? Is it really affecting? Because I just gave you two examples where she said it affected her daughter and it didn't affect me.
You're talking about kids. Wait, that's the thing. You're talking about kids.
But here's
and there's no middle ground for that with me.
Here's the breakdown.
Because you're giving kids porn and you're making a scientific debate about kids and porn. Do you see how crazy that is?
Okay, but here's
about
the middle
porn?
ground. Here's the middle ground. Here's the middle ground. Okay, I agree with you. We do not need to be sitting kids in front of porn. Hell no. I'm a mom. Fuck no. I agree with you in the sense of, unfortunately, if you have a child who has been traumatized by this, and as a parent, I'm going to call it trauma, has been traumatized by this, then yes, I want to study their brain. I want to provide counseling for them. I want to understand what's going on in their mind so that I can then therefore warn other children and parents so I can help people take preventative methods. Research, yes. Going to get kids like lab rats to do the research, no.
And that's definitely what the fuck happened here. That's definitely what happened here. All of this to me is pedophile behavior. All of it. There's no way in a human mind, an adult anyways, that's not thinking in an ill manner, that decided to round up some kids' parents, tell them what this study is, and then go and do the study. And like, who just wants to watch kids watch porn? I'm sorry, do you want to watch kids watch porn?
Hell
Hey, you want to watch kids watch porn?
No.
You want to watch it? And that's why it ain't no damn middle ground. Because watching kids watch porn is so, one, just disgusting. I don't, like I said in the beginning, I have no words for this, bruh. There's no middle ground with this with me. Because you're talking about kids and you're talking about porn. Porn harms adults. Adults have porn addiction. So what the fuck you think a kid gonna do? Like, and then who's creating and who's doing these studies? Like, can we see the paperwork on it? Nah, because they bitch ass pulled the fuck out. Because now they're getting backlash because they know this shit is wrong. We never say anything about drugs or whatever, but that's because most drugs come from nature and they're beneficial. Even psychedelics, they're trying to even figure out how to use mushrooms and stuff in micro dosage. That actually helps. I don't see how studying how a kid gets turned on or turned off or is happy or is sad or if it does anything to their mind. I'm not interested in that study at all. It happens, but no, I'm not going to let my kid go to school and learn what is this tingly feeling when I touch my private part. No, I don't care.
That's
Shake your head all you want to.
though.
There's no middle ground, bro. If you want to learn about the reproduction system and what they do, great. But when pornography and other things come into play, no.
You just combine two things, though.
There's sick things in those fucking pornos. Sister and sister, sister and sister shit.
Animals.
How you know?
Because I watch porn, nigga. But sister and sister shit. Fucking dad and mom shit. Like, is that the type of shit that you want your kids looking at?
No. But still, at the same time, these are things that happen. We can't say we want to. We just had a conversation talking about the front,
The prefrontal cortex.
prefrontal. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure.
Prefrontal cortex.
It sounds like you were trying to say the pre-porno.
Like, I just feel like if things are already happening, like, I think it's always good. Like I said, and I'm only talking in a strictly scientific research way. You have to know. Like, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if it's already happening,
We need to study it.
and if we can get some insight, okay, well, damn, like, okay, like, from 13 to 15, if a kid is watching porn or has easy access to see that, we can tell, like, it doesn't have a major effect on a person that's like from 8 to 11. Like, if there's information to be known to help make things better, to find out why things are going this way, I'm all for it.
So I'm curious to know what if you're talking from a scientific point of view, what is this study going to do for the long run for kids?
Okay.
What do you see this
Once
going
again,
in 10 years?
Figuring out how the frontal lobe,
That doesn't even
work.
develop until 25.
but it's still developing.
It's
No,
developing.
it's still developing.
So if you're seeing something and we're trying to figure out, okay, like, how watching this, is it deteriorating? Is it slowing the growing or maturing function? Like, what exactly is it doing? if we have like some damn good evidence, like, you know what, this is really, it really fucks up a child's mind. So maybe we need to go to these politicians and like maybe we need to pass some laws because we have irrefutable evidence.
See, and that's the thing that I don't understand about your standpoint on it from a scientific standpoint, is that we already have the research in behind how pornography affects people. It affects adults in a really bad way.
Does it though?
Yes.
For everybody?
Not for everybody, but hey, for a large amount of people that have gotten addicted to it.
What's a large amount?
One is too many. If you're addicted to porn and you're a fucking adult, that's bad, bro.
What?
No, hold up, because I let you speak and you had these two advocating for you. So no, fucking pornography already affects adults. So you're gonna run that same study on a kid? When we already have the research, it fucking harms adults.
Says who?
That's porn was bad.
Let me look it up, bro.
Yeah, please.
Let me look at. You need a mic. You need a mic, bro.
Did they put children? Did they sit them down and put them in front of? What happened? What happened in this?
Yeah,
study?
like or are they asking questions like
Because you're acting like they.
How did they perform? How did they perform the study? How did they perform the study?
They found children that have already been exposed to porn.
Even from a scientific standpoint, that doesn't do anything. If you just talking to a kid about porn, you have to have set them kids down and let them watch that fucking porn.
Not necessarily.
I wish that this shit was like, not fucking.
Let's just say you're adopted and you stay in a home.
Okay.
Or let's just say you came from a household where it was pretty lax and you pretty much got to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do until they came and got you and they put you in the home. The DCF worker or whatever they call them, they read your case file, they talk to you, they see everything that you've been through at such an early age. So we have scientists come in and talk to you. We have a group of kids from this age range that have been through these things. Let's see how this works up here compared to other children in the same age range who haven't been through this. Let's see how different are they? And if they are different, how so?
What? But why is that? And that's the only thing I'm getting hung up on. You made all really great points in the name of science. Me, personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I might not have all the facts on it because, well, they took them all down because they know that this shit's wrong. But pornography in children, no. I don't give a fuck what study it is. I don't give a fuck about the facts. You're sitting up there. You're sitting up there letting kids, trying to figure out if porn is harmful to kids. Who gives a fuck? They shouldn't be watching the shit anyways, period.
And I think most people agree with that.
They shouldn't be.
And I don't think we're saying like, hey, well, we just want to grab some kids and put it in porn. We're operating under the assumption that they're doing case studies on these kids. They've already been through that, and they're just trying to figure stuff out.
Look, folks, they about to get ready to groom y'all kids. That's straight up. Now, I know that everybody like, oh, no, but I'm about to say it because they didn't already took this shit off of line, so you know that they was wrong. So they about to get ready to groom y'all kids coming to a school near you. Your kid gonna know, your kids gonna know how to do all the shit that you know how to do in the bed at 3, cause they grooming our kids out here, and that's how they get us with these case studies and these scientific words. And well, they was already doing it. Guess what? If my house is on fucking fire, I'm not going to go pour more fucking gasoline on it. I'm not jocking this. In the name of science, me personally, I don't even be fucking with science like that because that shit can be changed. But
science cannot be changed.
Okay.
For sure it can.
Can we be done?
Theories?
These two can argue all night long.
But that's just my opinion about it. Y'all brought up some really great facts about it. I'm not fucking with this. Yeah, not fucking with this at all. Pedophilia. The road to pedophilia. In the name of science.
Right.
In the name of science. Okay.
Well, folks, that was an amazing, very exciting show.
Hour with Crowder.
We out.
Yeah.
Clearly.